Okay guys, welcome back. Today what we've got is an old Wisconsin engine that survived the Joplin tornado. It was on an industrial cement mixer. It was actually picked up. We don't know how far it was carried, but it was thrown and deposited at a farm outside of Joplin. And part of our volunteer efforts, we went in and tore down the old farmhouse. You know, it was kind of sad. The house had been in the family since it was built in 1936, but they didn't have insurance on it. It wasn't occupied at the time, thankfully, and it was pretty well torn up. So we ended up tearing the house down, and as a thank you, the landowner was nice enough to let us haul off a lot of the scrap metal, and we used a lot of the metal. We sold it, and we funded our gas and oil and, you know, chains and new chainsaws and stuff like that while we were volunteering. But I saved this off of the old cement mixer. The cement mixer was beyond repair, or at least it was beyond the amount of effort I wanted to put into it to repair it. But I did save the old engine, this old Wisconsin, and the tank was crushed, so this is a different tank. But we're going to try to start this dude up, and if it'll run decent, it's going to be the power plant for an inertia log splitter that I'm trying to build. And the goal on this log splitter is to build it only out of parts that were thrown away, free, or destined for the salvage yard. And so far, I think I've got pretty much everything I need. It's just odds and ends pieces, and we're going to have to Frankenstein them together to make them work. But that is the goal, is to, you know, get it put together and operational without purchasing any major parts, maybe some nuts or bolts or something. But let's see if I can get this thing started. I've already checked it. It does have oil in it. It does have spark. And one thing I want to point out is don't ever try to start one of these old engines unless it's bolted down. See if we can get some fuel going here into the bowl. Looks like we may have a clog in the screen in the gas tank, so I may have to pause you guys and do a little repair work. Alright, I'll be back when I get it flowing. Okay, well, I think apparently the float was stuck, and that was causing an airlock in the fuel line. I tapped on the inlet, and the glass sediment bowl started filling up, but it was filling up kind of slow. So I went and took your adjustment right here. I left it adjusted, but I unscrewed it on that nut, which that'll let you drain. And I let all the gas out that was in there, and it flushed a bunch of crud with it. And there was some oil in there too. So I think we'll try again, and let's see what happens. Still got a fuel leak back here. I guess I'm going to have to redo that fuel line, or where the flare fitting is, or put a piece of gasketing in there. That's probably what I'll end up doing. Give her a good hard choke. Still some life left in her. You can do it, babe. I know you're old and tired, but so am I. A little more, babe. A little more. Get all that gum and goo out of you. Alright, well, obviously she needs a little cleaning on the carburetor. She did start and run twice. So, and there was no knocking, grinding noises, so that tells me she's worth putting some more time into. So, looks like I have a little bit of work ahead of me, but I probably have the power plant for my log splitter. Thanks for watching, guys. When I get a little further along, we get her running good, especially if she's on the log splitter, guaranteed there'll be another video. See you later. Okay guys, I got the carburetor off. It was stuck together pretty good where the float bowl and the carburetor body attach. As you can see, it ripped the gasket in half in several places. That's not unusual. See all the rust and crud, but I've seen a lot worse. Sometimes they get water in them and then they freeze and your float will be collapsed, be crushed. But I don't see any real bad damage. It's just dirty. One of the holes in this jet here is clogged up. So I'm going to go through, clean all that rust and crud out, take the air compressor, blow all the passages and ports out, and I'm just going to put it back together as is to see if I can get the old engine running. If it starts and runs, then we can always make new gaskets and all that for it, clean it up. I'll take it to work, and we've got a solvent tank there. I'll dip it, clean it up and everything. But since it's already ran, I don't think there's a lot wrong with it. Go through and clean these passages and everything out and put her back together. It's fixing to storm, so hopefully I can get her back together and we'll try again before it rains. Okay guys, have the carburetor back on. I'm going to try to get it started. It's getting pretty dark, like I said, and it's about to rain. And I just don't really feel like sitting out here in the rain. So, we'll see if we can get her fired up. I didn't change any of the settings on the carburetor. That doesn't mean they're right. but it doesn't look like this old engine had been touched in years, so I'm going to assume that it was running with those settings. I can always change them later. Let's see if we can fire her up. And I did bleed the fuel line of air again, so unless the float has stuck, which it seemed to be working fine when I had it apart, unless the float has stuck, we should have fuel in there. And it seems like we have fuel. Let's try her. I did not clean the spark plug either. I just pulled it out and verified that I was getting spark. So I could have done that too. Just a little stiff on it. She's not returning all the way, and that may just be because nothing's been worked in years. Nothing's been moved. I would go out ever so often and turn all these old engines over just to keep them from locking up, and when I got this one out today and turned it, it was getting stiff, so she wasn't far from being junk. Let's try it again. All in all, though, that's very promising, considering I haven't done anything to it other than clean some rust out of the carburetor and blow the passages out. Seemed to run pretty good. It's sprinkling, but I achieved the goal. She does start, run. Sounds like the chain drive on that reduction needs some oil though, so I don't want to run it very long. But hey, you know, that just goes to show you, as ugly as they are, this one even went through the tornado, got damaged. Don't throw those dudes away. If you don't want them, find somebody else that can use them. I appreciate the guy giving it to me, and it will be put to good use. Thanks for watching, guys. I got to get all my tools put in before it starts raining. Thanks for watching.